Hello, I am Jake Bruning, and I am a student at Florida Gulf Coast University with a major in marine science. Today, I will be talking about the environmental impacts that keep the aquaculture industry from becoming sustainable and possible solutions that can be implemented to resolve these issues. To start off, I would like to define exactly what aquaculture is, and according to the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration website on aquaculture, aquaculture is the practice of breeding, growing, and harvesting aquatic organisms from fresh or salt water, and this can be done on land or in open bodies of water like lakes or oceans. Because of this diversity, there are many different kinds of aquaculture and practices, but most have been proven not to be sustainable in the long run. The next idea I would like to talk about is sustainability and the three key parts that make something sustainable. On the Environmental Protection Agency website for sustainability, for something to become sustainable, it must have positive social and economic impacts and not exceed the environmental resource capacity. This means that the industry should build infrastructure and provide jobs wherever it is, and it should not take up more resources than what the environment can provide. Overall, out of these 3 points, the environmental impact is the most important to the idea of sustainability. Aquaculture does not meet the criteria of sustainability because of the many negative impacts it has on the environment. This picture shows many of the impacts aquaculture can have on the environment, like nutrient buildup underneath the pens on the bottom of the ocean, which, according to Naylor L. Rosemond, in Effects of Aquaculture on World Fish Supplies, from the Issues in Ecology journal, these nutrient buildups can cause dead zones, which kill all the organisms around it. Another big problem is the depletion of wild fish populations for fish feed, which, according to Rosemond in the same article, can lead to a rapid decrease in bait fish and predator fish populations. Although there are many more problems associated with aquaculture, these two tend to be the biggest. One easy solution that can be integrated into aquaculture practices that are in open water is to use multi-trophic systems. This means growing an organism that requires feed, like a fish, along with an organism that is a filter feeder, like a clam. According to James Diana in Aquaculture Production and Biodiversity Conservation, this will diminish the waste and nutrient buildup that occurs in aquaculture systems today. The extra food and waste from the fish will feed the filter feeding organisms, which diminishes the amount of nutrients that build up in the water. This also provides fish farmers with an extra product to sell and reduces the chance of toxic dead zones, which can kill the farmer's crop and local aquatic organisms. This is a very viable option because it not only provides the farmers with a new product, but it increases their net income. A second solution that can reduce the pressure on wild fish stocks for fish feed is to promote the use of herbaceous or filter feeding organisms. In Aquaculture, A Sustainable Future for Aquatic Food Production by Tilman Benfey, he stated that these organisms don't require much, if any, supplemental feeding. This reduction in demand for fish meal will reduce the amount of fish caught for it, and this solution has been tested and is becoming a popular method of aquaculture in Maine, according to Maddie Gamble in an article she wrote for TalkingFish.org titled All About Aquaculture, Environmental Risks and Benefits. This option is also viable because it reduces the amount of money spent on fish meal, which in the long run will save the farmer money. This chart is from the Food and Agriculture Organization's report called The State of World Fisheries and Aquaculture, and it shows that aquaculture is quickly emerging to become the main source of fish throughout the world, while wild fisheries are slowly declining. If these environmental issues are not resolved quickly, it could pollute the waters used for aquaculture and possibly collapse the aquaculture industry.